What's good, internet? Jake here, dumb as ever, and I'm loving Kamen Rider Zeztz. If you're out of the loop, Kamen Rider Zeztz is the newest Kamen Rider series, and it's the first ever to be released in Japan and America at the same time. It's about a man named Baku who dreams of being a secret agent. Soon his and other people's dreams are invaded by nightmares, monsters that can actually affect the real world from dreams. So it's up to Baku, taking on the title of Kamen Rider Zeztz. He fights nightmares to protect the dreamers and to protect the world. Watching it week to week with my Discord has been so fun. And the show has an ongoing mystery element with all the twists and turns that you would expect from a show inspired by spy movies. We just reached the midway point of the show and there was a crazy twist, which I will not be spoiling. I am going to spoil a few things in this video because they're related to the toys we're talking to, so if you want to watch the show, go watch it. It's free on YouTube, at least in the United States. One of my favorite characters is NOX. He's a former secret agent like Baku is, but he's turned against Code, the organization that Baku works for. He's kind of annoying because he always says something really vague and leaves, but that's the type of annoying I find endearing. His first form is called NOX Knight, and he uses the Night Invoker to transform. I talked about that in our last review, and it's just a cover for the NOX Driver. But later on in the series, he upgrades to the NOX Driver, which is so cool looking, and I love Kamen Rider NOX's design. If you know me, you know I love orange and blue, and the zigzag patterns on top of his white suit just looks awesome. Meanwhile, even later in the series, Baku gets access to the Dualmare Capsem, a powerful artifact that lets him transform into Kamen Rider Zetzt's Catastrom form. We still don't know everything about this capsem at the time of recording. Seeing these items in the show really made me want to take a look at the toys. And thanks to today's sponsor, JP Fans, we're doing just that. JP Fans is a website that you can use to shop at Japanese online retailers, like Mercari, Yahoo, and even Amazon. There are tons of awesome deals to find on these sites. When you buy an item, it will be sent to the JP Fans warehouse, where the staff will make sure everything looks correct and even send you QC photos of the product you ordered. It will then be stored in their warehouse until you're ready to pay for shipping. If you can't pay for it right away, don't worry. Your items will be safely stored in the JP Fans warehouse for up to 60 days, giving you plenty of time if you need it. My favorite site to shop through is Mercari. You can find so many great deals, especially on old Kamen Rider belts and gimmick toys. Here's a piece of advice though. Find the name of whatever you're looking for in Japanese and paste it into the search bar. Make sure that direct search is on, because while the translations on the site are great, for the weirder names it has a hard time properly translating. If you use my link to register below, you'll get a bunch of discount coupons. And you can redeem an extra coupon by using code dumbjake, which will give you a 20% shipping discount. Thank you so much to JP Fans for sponsoring the channel, and let's get into the toys. First, we'll talk about the NOX Driver, because it appeared first in the show. Something funny is that NOX's actor accidentally spoiled the driver by showing it off in a video way too early. The NOX Driver uses its own special type of capsem, called Nightmare Capsems, which look a lot different from the normal and Invoker Capsems. The Nightmare Capsem doesn't have a rotating center, and instead, when you click the top button, it will split in half. It's very hard to see right now, but there is some art in there. The front of the capsem also has this little button, which is fun to press. This unique capsem does actually work in the Zeztz driver. It is a little annoying to get it into the driver slot for some reason, but it fits fine enough once it's in there. After you insert it, the capsem works like any standard one, with unique noises, though instead of spinning it, you have to click the button in the center. It also has its own finishing move sound. The way the light shines through the capsem is really cool, and it actually looks like a doorknob, with a little keyhole to look through and see the Shadow Nightmare. Now let's talk about the actual NOX Driver, which very much reflects Nox's rider form, with the main colors being white, orange, and blue. I really dig the jagged look of this thing, and the blue and orange is a nice metallic paint. It's about the same length as the Zeztz Driver, but it's much thicker due to its gimmick. To start transformation, you'll insert the Nightmare Capsem. In this case, it's the included Shadow Capsem. Doing this will begin a ticking noise. It kinda sounds like an alarm clock, which is really keeping in theme with the show. You will then click the top trigger, which will release the belt so it can rotate, and also start the standby music. I absolutely adore Nox's standby music. It sounds like an evil hip-hop beat or something. Just so menacing, but still so fun to listen to. You'll then rotate the belt 360 degrees, which will unlock the capsem, finishing the transformation. The way the lights work is really cool. The capsem has 3 pictures, Nox on the left, the Shadow Nightmare on the right, and a full image of Nox that takes up both sides of the capsem. It is a really cool effect, and I think it looks better in real life than on camera for some reason. You can press the left side of the capsem to make this noise. Shadow. For the finisher, you just have to repeat the same motion you did for the transformation. Why is the standby music on this thing so good, man? I actually love it. Now, this is the only Nightmare Capsem I have, unfortunately, but this driver does actually work with some other capsems. You can use Nox's signature capsem, Erase. You can't transform with it, but it does have an attack noise. You can transform with Baku's regular capsems, but it just uses a generic phrase for them. Overall, I really do enjoy the NOX Driver, and I think the Nightmare Capsems are cool, but they are a bit lame in comparison because you can't really see the art unless it's in the driver, and so far there have only been 3 Nightmare Capsems released, which is kind of crazy considering Kamen Rider NOX has been around for quite a bit. Hopefully he gets at least a few more Capsems, but I think it's more likely he'll just get an upgraded form in the future. Next up we have the Dualmare Capsem, which is the first big upgrade item for the Zeztz Driver. It has 3 modes, the first of which is Capsem mode, which I guess is trying to be a sphere, but it's not very spherical. Still, it's a good way to shrink it down, and it actually does feel nice to hold in hand. It's nicely painted with some metallic green and orange. Lifting the wings will turn it into drone mode. When Baku transforms, he can actually manifest the Capsem as a sort of goblin glider, and he jumps off of it to do his rider kick. This Capsem actually uses its own batteries and has its own lights and sounds. The wings have these clear pieces with psychedelic patterns in the middle, and the top or front of the Capsem has two modes, an orange mode or a blue mode, which only matters for transformation, but you can switch between them while it's unattached and it will make noises. Pressing the trigger on top will cause the fan in the middle to spin, and the Capsem will announce the mode it's on. Finally, we have Capsem mode, where you attach it to the Zeztz driver and slightly fold the wings over it. When you do so, it will start the standby music, and pressing the top button will cause transformation. The way the lights shine through the sides of the Dualmare Capsem is awesome, and the whole belt becomes so thick with it attached. Pressing the trigger on top 3 times will activate the finishing move. The button feels really nice to push, and the way the fan spins in the middle is really cool. You can also see a pixel art version of Catastrom and Orderm, though it's really hard to see and tell what you're actually looking at. Switching the center will turn the Dualmare Capsem to Orderm mode, and will start a new transformation. The music is really cool for Orderm, and it's really interesting how the vibe between the two is so different. Of course, pushing the trigger 3 times will cause the finisher. And yeah, that's about it for the Dualmare Capsem. A very cool upgrade, and I did try it with the NOX Driver, but they don't work together. Overall, this is a fun little upgrade toy. It reminds me a lot of the Gochipod from Kamen Rider Gov, just the way it seems to have a super powerful mode and a more balanced mode. But that's just me guessing because we haven't actually seen Orderm in the show yet. I'll probably display my Zeztz driver with the Dualmare Capsem from now on, and I really need to find a good spot for the NOX Driver. With all of these Zeztz and other Kamen Rider belts, I'm just going to need a new shelf at this rate. Man, I am absolutely loving Zeztz, both of the show and toy line. I'm still missing a few toys from the line, the biggest one being the Lord Invoker, which is a whole other driver, but I felt like it was more important to get this main rider stuff. I'm going to keep an eye on JP fans though, and hopefully I can pick up some of the toys I'm missing in the future. It would be super cool to do a big video where I review everything from the line. But until then, thanks to JP fans again for sponsoring this video. And as a reminder, if you use my link, you'll get a bunch of discount coupons, and you can redeem my code dumbjake to get a 20% off shipping discount coupon. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please consider liking and subscribing. And if you'd like to support me further, I have a YouTube membership and Patreon. For $1 a month, both give you the same thing. Access to my super chill chill Discord server where we talk about toys of all kinds, and we watch Kamen Rider Zeztz and other shows on a weekly basis. You also get access to my infrequent members-only podcast where I interview other YouTubers, mostly about toys and content creation. Alright y'all, I'll see you in the next one. Ciao.